Today the topic of discussion is forced vibration, and if you have followed the previous videos on simple harmonic oscillation, the first video you have followed, that was simple harmonic oscillation. In case of simple harmonic oscillation, we have studied that one vibrating system is vibrating in periodic motion or oscillating in periodic motion, and it was discussed that there is no influence of external force, so it will keep on vibrating or oscillating forever and ever and ever. And then this simple harmonic oscillation, and then we consider the damped harmonic oscillation, and there we have seen that if any system is vibrating and there exists some damping force, it will cause the oscillation to death after certain time, and the oscillation will decay down. And this type of decaying oscillation we have already studied, and today we will consider the forced vibration. The forced vibration, you can consider that suppose I have one damping system which is having its natural death of the oscillation after certain time, but we want to keep it alive. So we are applying here one external periodic force. External periodic force, this will try to keep it alive forever. So let me take one example of if you have seen the grandfather clock in your home or somewhere, the pendulum clock. The pendulum, it is oscillating in influence or in presence of external friction of air. So to keep the pendulum oscillate in the fixed frequency for long time, we use battery, and that battery supplies some external energy and periodic force, so that the simple harmonic oscillation is available or present for a period of time, as long as the external periodic force is present. So this type of vibration is called the forced vibration. And in forced vibration, if the subject oscillating and the external oscillating force both are having their natural frequencies same, that will cause resonance, and both the systems will vibrate with larger frequency, and that will cause resonance. We will come to that point later. Now let me first jot down that in case of forced vibration, which are the forces available. First one, the restoring force. Restoring force that we have seen in case of simple harmonic oscillation. First one, we will write it as restoring force. And it is written as suppose Fr, and we know it is proportional to y, that is displacement. Then we have the retarding force. The force generated because of this displacement, we will write it as or restoring force or retardation force as F res. It will be proportional to the time derivative of the displacement, that is velocity. Then we have internal force. Fi, that will be m d2y dt2, that is proportional to acceleration. Then external periodic force. External periodic force, that we will write Fp for periodic. Let us consider it is F cos of omega prime t, and this is the external periodic force which is helping the oscillator to keep on oscillating with its natural frequency. So if we now write the equation of motion, the equation of motion will be written as m d2y dt2 equals to f of p minus fr minus f res. The negative sign indicates that force is attractive in nature. Put down the values. If you put the values, Fp, that will be equals to, we have written already, f cos of omega prime into t minus fr f are in simple harmonic oscillation, we have seen it is k into y, and f raise, let us consider k prime into dy dt. So the equation will look like d2y dt2 plus 2 b dy dt plus omega square into y equals to f cos of omega prime into t, where twice b, as we have considered already, equals to k prime by m, omega square equals to k by m, and small f equals to capital F by m, like this. This is very simple, the simple calculation that already you have learned. So now we are considering one trial solution. Let the trial solution be the trial solution. Let us consider it is y equals to a cos of omega prime t minus alpha. We are considering it is a trial solution. If this be the trial solution, then what we have to do? We have to calculate now the value of y prime equals to what, then y double prime equals to what. Then we have to put the values y prime here and y double prime here. Put the values and calculate. If you put the values of y prime and y double prime and write the whole equation again, you will end up with, I am not doing these steps, that you can do better. First you have to differentiate it with respect to t, and again differentiate it again with respect to t. Okay, if you do it first step, you will be getting minus a omega prime sine of omega prime t minus alpha, and this y double prime you will be getting minus a omega prime square cos of omega prime t minus alpha. We'll end up with this. Then putting the values in this equation, putting the values, you can write it as suppose I am writing this one as equation number 1. Putting the values in equation number 1, you will be now getting minus a omega square cos of omega prime t minus alpha minus twice b a omega prime sine of omega t minus alpha plus omega square a cos of omega prime t minus alpha equals to f cos of omega prime t minus alpha, then cos alpha, minus f sine of omega prime t minus alpha into sine alpha. Now we will compare both the sides, the coefficients of cos omega prime t minus alpha and sine omega prime t minus alpha. Coefficients of this cos of omega prime minus t minus alpha, this one, and sine of omega prime t minus alpha. Coefficients of these both the sides in this equation. So comparing the coefficients both the sides, you will get, or separating the variables, you will get first minus a omega prime square plus omega square a equals to f cos of alpha, and you will get another equation minus twice b a omega prime equals to minus f sine alpha. You can make it equation number 3 and 4 and these two will remain equation number 2. So now look at equation number 3 and 4. If you square both the sides and add them, you will be getting the value of f, and if you divide these two, you will be getting the value of tan alpha. So squaring and adding equation 3 and 4, you will be getting the value of first f square. F square will be equals to a square omega square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4 a square b square omega prime square, and definitely you will be getting the value of a. A is the amplitude. The value of a will be equals to f whole root of power of omega square minus omega prime square plus 4 b square omega prime square. Remember the value of this omega prime. Omega prime was first introduced because of the external periodic force. So omega prime is the frequency of the external periodic force and omega is the frequency of the oscillator. And you will be getting the value of tan alpha, the unknown, another unknown. Tan alpha will be twice b omega prime divided by omega square minus omega prime square. So we can make it equation number 5 and 6. Got it? So if you get this now, from that you are now free to write down the exact solution. The trial solution, you have got the value of a and you have got the value of alpha. So you are now free to establish the value of y. So y will be equals to the solution of this forced vibration, forced vibrating system will be first a. Instead of a, I am writing the value f equals to f whole divided by omega square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4 b square omega prime square. Then the value of cos omega prime minus t minus alpha, cos of omega prime t minus alpha. You can put the value of alpha. If you put the value of alpha, alpha will be equals to this tan inverse twice b omega prime divided by omega square minus omega prime square. So this is the complete solution of y. Now we will try to calculate the energy, and from that equation you can also now write the whole equation. Okay, we are not ending it here, we will continue. Okay, hold on. So y, the trial solution we have solved and we have seen what is the value of y, but you have to remember that damping is associated herein with the force vibrating system. To overcome the damping, we have introduced the external periodic force. So whenever you are writing the whole solution of the force vibrating system, you have to have the consideration of damping. So considering the damping, the whole solution will now look like, because of damping, if you first write because of damping, for damping, if you first write for damping, you know the solution will be y equals to p e to the power minus bt cos of omega square minus b square t minus theta. This was for damping, that you know. In the previous case, in the damp harmonic oscillation system, you have solved it and you have learned it. So now the complete solution will be y. First the damping will come, y will be equals to e to the power minus bt, then e to the power minus bt cos of omega square minus b square into t minus theta. First the damping part, then the part that we have calculated, that is f divided by whole root of power of omega square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4 b square omega prime square. Then the part cos of omega prime t minus tan inverse twice b omega prime divided by omega square minus omega prime square, this one. So this will be the complete solution of a system which is vibrating under forced vibration or under the influence of external periodic force. And the first part, this part underline, is the solution associated for damping, and this part is the solution associated for external periodic force. Okay, now we can proceed and we can now write down the energy of forced vibrating system. Energy of forced vibration. The energy we will calculate in one alternate path. First we will try to calculate the energy. First, kinetic energy. Kinetic energy part is the simple one, because as you know the amplitude, differentiating the amplitude we will be getting the velocity. So half mv square is the kinetic energy that we know. Then we will try to calculate the maximum kinetic energy, and we know the maximum kinetic energy will be equal to the total energy. Why? Because in case of oscillating system, if you remember, in case of simple harmonic oscillation, when we have drawn the curve of kinetic energy and potential energy, the curves were like that. Do you remember? And in this curve we have learned that at any point when kinetic energy is maximum, potential energy is minimum, and potential energy minimum, kinetic energy is maximum, that is another was zero actually. So if we be able to calculate the maximum kinetic energy, that will be equal to the total energy. So in this way we will try to calculate it. This will be a simple part of calculation. So our trial solution was y equals to a cos of omega prime t minus alpha. This was our trial solution. Amplitude that we calculated, amplitude was equals to f whole root of r of omega square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4b square omega prime square. Simple. And the value of alpha that we calculated was tan inverse twice b omega prime divided by omega square minus omega prime square. Okay, that you know. So first what we have to do, we have to calculate the velocity. How to calculate the velocity? V will be equals to dy dt. So from this equation y, we can easily calculate the value of dy dt, and it will be equals to minus a omega prime sine of omega prime t minus alpha. And we know most of the values, and kinetic energy T will be equals to half mv square. So we can write it as half m this square. So a square omega prime square sine square omega prime t minus alpha. This one will be the kinetic energy. Now put the value of a. Putting the value of a, what you will be getting? I am writing it here. Again I am writing t. I am putting the value of a here. Putting the value of a, you will be getting first half, then m omega prime square f square divided by omega square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4 b square omega prime square, then sine square omega prime t minus alpha. This will be the kinetic energy part, and this is simple to calculate. Now we are trying to calculate the total energy, E total. E total directly I can write will be equals to T max, because it is obeying the laws of simple harmonic oscillation. So when it will be the maximum value? When the sine value is maximum, the maximum sine value equals to 1. So Tmax will be equals to half, then m omega prime square f square whole divided by omega square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4b square omega prime square, this one. Okay, so we can rewrite it and rewrite it in the form m f square whole divided by omega square common, then omega by omega prime minus omega prime by omega it whole square plus 4b square, and it is written in the form half mf square. This part is written as delta, so it will be written as delta square omega square plus 4b square. Try and concentrate here, where the value of this delta equals to this omega by omega prime minus omega prime by omega. We have considered it for simplicity of calculation. Now you can calculate the value of Emax when the value will be maximum. The value will be maximum when the value of delta equals to 0. The value, if you put this delta equals to 0, the value will be maximum, and that is the actual resonance. If you look at this calculation very carefully, if you want to maximize the value, you have to minimize the function at bottom, that is delta square omega square plus 4b square. You cannot make b 0, because if you make b 0, then damping will be vanished. You cannot make omega 0, because if you make omega 0, the oscillating frequency will vanish. The only provision you have, you can make delta 0. So I can write it like that. Give me a little time. That E R will be equals to E max. The value will be half mf square divided by 4b square when delta equals to 0. And what is the value of delta? Delta was equals to omega by omega prime minus omega prime by omega, that will be equals to 0. So what is it actually? It is actually omega equals to omega prime, and this is resonance. Now if you plot energy as a function of delta, at this point delta equals to 0, and here omega is greater than omega prime, here omega prime is greater than omega in this region, and in this direction I am plotting E, you will be getting the curve like that. Energy is maximum when delta equals to 0. Suppose this is for B small. If you increase B, this will be like that, B large. Understood? So this is very easy to calculate. Now we will go towards the sharpness of resonance, etc. Sharpness of resonance is one idea only. With that idea, simply we can understand the curve. If you now write that what will be the value of E max by E total, that is maximum energy divided by total energy. If you write then the maximum energy by total energy, you will be getting delta square omega square plus 4b square divided by 4b square, that is 1 plus delta square omega square divided delta square omega square divided by 4b square, this one. And E max by E only, you will be writing 1 plus delta square omega square divided by 4b square E total. And what you are understanding, the rate of decrease of the total energy E with respect to delta is greater the smaller the value of B, and the sharpness of resonance can be quantified by reciprocal to delta. The increase of maximum energy and delta is reciprocal to each other, so the sharpness of resonance, it is actually the reciprocal of delta, that is 1 by delta. It is defining the sharpness of resonance. Okay, and the sharpness of resonance, if you want to calculate, simply from this calculation you can calculate it with a trick. Simple trick you can apply. You consider that when delta equals to delta 1, E equals to half E max. Put it. Delta equals to delta 1, E equals to half E max. Then you will be getting delta 1 equals to plus minus twice B by omega. So sharpness of resonance, if you define at S will be equals to 1 by delta 1 will be equals to omega by twice B. I will get back to this twice B function. Twice B is actually the bandwidth. We will get back to this again. And omega is the frequency of the oscillator, and twice B, it can be shown that twice B is nothing but the value of the bandwidth. We will come back to it later. Okay, and some important parts are still remaining. One is called amplitude resonance. The name describes the nature what we are going to calculate. Amplitude resonance means that the scientific consideration for which or for what the value of amplitude will be maximum. We have already seen the amplitude, the value of amplitude we have calculated f whole root over of omega square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4 b square omega prime square. We have to find out the value that, or the condition when the amplitude is maximum, and in maxima what is its value. How to calculate it? This value a will be maximum when this function will be minimum. So this function to be minimum, what is the condition? The condition is d omega prime of the whole function, that is omega square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4 b square omega prime square. This will be equals to 0, and double derivative will be less than 0. So apply this condition, differentiate it. Differentiation part is very simple, and differentiating it, you will be getting the condition that omega prime square is equals to omega square minus twice b square. That is omega prime square minus omega square equals to minus twice b square. You will be getting this condition, and for this particular condition you will be getting this amplitude resonance. And at resonance, if you put the values, if you put now the value of this omega prime at amplitude resonance condition, the resonance amplitude, that finally you will be getting AR equals to F whole divided by twice B, right? AR here, other it will be confusing. AR equals to twice B into omega prime square plus B square, this one. I'm jumping some steps here. What I'm doing first, I have to differentiate it. After differentiating, you will be getting this condition. Then what I am doing, I am putting the value of this omega in this equation, changing the value of this omega square. Understood? For omega square, what I am writing, omega prime square plus 2ic b square. Put it here, omega prime square plus 2ic b square. Finally, you will end up with this equation. And this is the amplitude resonance condition. Okay. Now the last part, calculation of quality factor. How to get the quality factor of the forced vibrating system. In case of forced vibrating system, before calculating the quality factor, we have to calculate first the power. How to get the power? Pt, the power, is a function of time, power. We can write it as F cos of omega prime t into V, the velocity. So Pt you can calculate, V already we know the differentiation of this y, because of trial solution y we know that y we consider as a cos of omega prime t minus alpha. From that we can easily get the value of this V. We can put all those values here, and finally to calculate the power, we have to write that P equals to 1 by T full cycle integration 0 to T P dt. Then putting the value of P here, first to calculate P from this calculation, then putting the value of P here, you will get I am directly writing the value of P now. This is P average. P average after integration, you will be getting half of f a omega prime sine of alpha. The integration part I am dropping. You can find the integration in any book. That is not the important part. The mathematical part you can easily understand. I am trying to make you understand the physics. P is like that, and from that you can calculate P max now. P maximum, again the calculation of the denominator and the numerator. P maximum will be half of f, then small f 1 by twice b, that is half of f square by m into 1 by twice b, like that, something like that. That is a less important part. And finally you can write P average equals to P max into 4b square omega prime square divided by omega square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4b square omega prime square, like that. This part is important. Sorry. So what you have to do, you have to learn the integration part from any book or notes. Simply integration. Then from P average you have to calculate the value of P max. Again the play of this denominator and the numerator, one will be maximum, another will be minimum, and you can end up with this relationship, that is P average will be P max divided by into this function. So now if I draw the curve now, the resonance curve, in this direction, suppose in this direction I am plotting P average, in this direction I am plotting the value of delta omega. No, actually I am plotting omega prime in this, omega prime in this direction. Then I will be getting a curve like that. In this particular curve, if I take any certain value, where the value, this is the maxima, it is half of the maxima. There is half P max, stage dotted line, and now the corresponding frequencies, the left one will be omega 1, right one will be equals to omega 2, and the width will be called the bandwidth. This width will be called the bandwidth, this will be delta omega. So if I be able to calculate the value of omega 1 and omega 2, I will be able to calculate the value of delta omega. And this region is called the full width at half maxima. The maxima is half, it is called FWHM. Full width at half maxima. How to calculate its value? And also we can calculate the quality, sharpness of resonance and quality factor. The quality factor is defined as Q is defined as omega divided by omega 2 minus omega 1, that is omega divided by delta omega. It is called Q, that is quality factor of the resonance. How to calculate it? Omega is the natural frequency or resonant frequency, and this omega 2 minus omega 1 is the bandwidth. Okay, so we can write it as from this equation I am writing P average divided by P max equals to half. I am crossing this limit, that any particular point when this P value is half of the maxima, so it will be half of, this will be 1 by 2, the ratio at this particular point. You can concentrate, this is P average. So if I take this by this will be half of that, 1 by 2. This 1 by 2 will be equals to 4b square omega square. From this equation I am writing omega square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4b square omega prime square. Or that resonance condition, you can rewrite this and get omega prime square equals to omega square plus 2i's b omega prime, that is omega prime square minus 2i's b omega prime minus omega square equals to 0. And from this equation, applying Sridharacharya, you will be getting omega 1 equals to and omega 2 equals to what? Minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac by 2 I say, that is omega square plus b square whole root over of that, and here minus b minus whole root over of omega square plus b square. Okay, so what will be the value of delta omega? Divide this two, you will be getting 2i's b. That I was talking, that this sharpness of resonance, this s, here also you can put this omega by 2i's b equals to omega by delta omega. And quality factor, you can put omega by delta omega, and you know the value of delta omega, so you can put omega by 2i's b. This is Q, quality factor. So this part I have skipped and jumped some calculating part, but I know the mathematical part you can do it your own. The physics part you have learned, I think, and this will help you a little to read any books. I would like to suggest you that do not copy anything from this class note. This is only the lecture note. You can just during the study you can do some take some hand note, but after that you must study any book or any good notes available in net or library, then try to solve a few problem. And then the mathematical part and mathematical problem you can touch that in the simple harmonic oscillation, I told you that LR circuit is the example of simple harmonic oscillation, and then NCS circuit was quite like damped harmonic oscillator. And if you consider one oscillator, the oscillator will be the example of this forced vibration. Try it at home. Then if you have any problem, message me. I will try to help. Thank you.